Welcome to Sapphire One. This is an introduction into the General Ledger Inquiry in Sapphire One. By selecting the Accounts mode and by selecting the drop-down within General Ledger, we can go to a Transaction Inquiry General Ledger. By selecting the Transaction Inquiry, it'll bring up a Transaction Inquiry which will show all our General Ledger accounts. We can double click on that and we can drill down and go and look at the actual General Ledger journal that's been created within Transaction Inquiry. We've also got the ability to switch different views, so we can switch to what we call a custom view or a standard view. In this case it's a standard view, and I've got the ability within the standard view of moving those columns around. For example, I could move the internal external reference here, I could put the date over here as the first column, I could move the ID over here, for example. So I've got the ability to customize my particular view. I've also got the ability to go into what we call a custom view. So by swapping to custom view, I can then select my setup icon here, and then I could go here and I could go type, for example, click OK, and then that'll simply change that column to type. And then I've got the ability once again to switch that around or do whatever I like. Then once I've set up a particular custom view, I can then get totals. So for example, if I wanted to select total here, I could get a total of those particular General Ledger journals displayed on the screen, and I've got the ability to export that out. So if I wanted to drop that out into Excel, I can simply select the export function by holding my control key here, and I can just zoom that out to full screen. So here I've dropped out to Excel from the Sapphire One application. Now, any inquiry screen within Sapphire One, I've got this ability. So I've got the ability to customize it, I've got the ability to go to a custom view, and I've got the ability to drop that out to Excel using the custom. I've also, with the setup, I can save multiple setups. So I can go in here and I can go and save different setups within the view. I've also got the ability to change the row height. So for example, if I wanted to make that 30, click OK, it just simply goes and changes the row height. So I've got the ability as a user to fully customize my particular inquiry screen. Now once I've customized that and I close out and come back in now, so if I go back into a transaction inquiry screen, it's going to remember the particular view that I set up for the last time I was in there. Now that will remember it for me as a user, unique to my username and password. So if someone else comes along in your office and has a different view of the General Ledger transaction inquiry, they will have a completely separate view of the data to how you set up your view. So this is completely customizable for you as a user. Thank you for taking the time to watch the General Ledger transaction inquiry.